Wise Way Learning presents in Lecture 004. What does a project manager do? What are the roles and responsibilities? This is a complete free project management course from beginner to successful project manager. What does a project manager do? What are the roles and responsibilities? Project managers play the lead role in planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing out projects. They are accountable for the entire project scope, the project team and resources, the project budget, and the success or failure of the project. Top 6 questions of project manager roles and responsibilities. What are the duties and responsibilities of project manager? What do project managers do? 8 key roles and responsibilities. What do project managers do all day? What skills should a project manager have? Who works under a project manager? Who reports to project manager? What authority does a project manager have? What are the duties and responsibilities of project manager? Such as plan and develop the project idea. Every project starts as an idea. Create and lead your dream team. Monitor project progress and set deadlines. Solve issues that arise. Manage the money. Ensure stakeholder satisfaction. Evaluate project performance. What do project managers do? 8 key roles and responsibilities are: 1. Activity and resource planning. 2. Organizing and motivating a project team. 3. Controlling time management. 4. Cost estimating and developing the budget. 5. Ensuring customer satisfaction. 6. Analyzing and managing project risk. 7. Monitoring progress. 8. Managing reports and necessary documentation. What do project managers do all day? A project manager is responsible for the planning, procurement, execution and completion of a project. The project manager is in charge of the entire project and handles everything involved, such as the project scope, managing the project team, as well as the resources assigned to the project. What skills should a project manager have? 7 essential project management skills. Skill 1, effective communication. From project kickoffs to stakeholder meetings, project managers are constantly communicating. Skill 2, negotiation. Skill 3, scheduling and time management. Skill 4, leadership. Skill 5, technical expertise. Skill 6, risk management. Skill 7, critical thinking and problem solving. Who works under a project manager? Project coordinators may work under a project manager to help with administrative tasks on a specific project. They help make sure all team members and departments have what is needed to meet the deadlines and milestones set by the project manager. Who reports to project manager? What authority does a project manager have? A project manager usually reports to a manager, director, or vice president of project management, although they can report to any manager in the hierarchy. The project manager has the authority to determine the when and what of the project activities, whereas the functional manager has the authority to determine how the support will be given. The project manager accomplishes his objectives by working with personnel who are largely professional.
Great! Now we know what a project is. A temporary initiative that is agreed, planned, and executed to achieve a specific goal. So, once we have our project, and that project has been selected by the board of directors as the current initiative, it's down to one person to make sure that project's execution is successful. Can you guess who that one person is? The project manager, that's who. But what exactly is their role? Let's discuss. The project manager is the CEO of the project. They will be accountable for the project's success. And for a project to be successful, it needs to accomplish the specific goal of the project within the prior agreed time and budget constraints. Everything needs to fit neatly into the project management triple constraint triangle, which we looked at in the first lesson, remember? In fact, by assuming the project manager position for a project, the project manager implicitly agrees to work within these constraints and still meet the goal. Now, that's a big responsibility. What if the time frame and budget are insufficient? A project manager can't shoot themselves in the foot and take on a project that is unlikely to be successful. Therefore, when the project management triple constraints are put in place, they must be realistic. It is the project manager's duty to assess a project and deem the constraints practical or otherwise, and if otherwise, they must demonstrate why to whoever proposed the project, and negotiate for additional time, resources, or an adjustment to the goal itself. Of course, a project manager is well within their rights to refuse to head a project if they feel the difference between the set constraints and the realistic expectations is too large. In real life, however, the time and resources will usually be just enough to complete the goal. The project manager's job, then, is to best utilize them, and this is by no means an easy task. And often, project managers will be accountable for multiple projects at the same time. Okay, so we've been throwing around the term accountable, but never actually defined it. What does it mean to be accountable? Let's start with an example. Can you guess who the person in the picture is? Well, we'll see in a minute. Let's focus on the sign first. The buck stops here. The meaning of this phrase is that the responsibility for any given work or situation will not be passed to anyone else. It is a promise or commitment by the primary person not to run away from their responsibility. The metaphor comes from the game poker. In order to avoid cheating, players agree that a different person will deal the cards between the games. To mark the next one in turn, usually a knife with a buckhorn handle would be passed from one player to another, and from there, passing the buck. This has later transformed into passing the responsibility or passing the blame to someone else. Now, the person in the picture proudly keeping the sign on his desk as a promise to the nation not to run away from his responsibility is the US President Harry Truman. The message is that I will not run away from my responsibility, and when hard times come, I am the person you need to come to. I will face the difficult situations and look for a way to overcome them. So, although with a different job title, the 33rd US President can be an inspiring example for all project managers for the right attitude they need to practice toward their teams and organizations. Great. Let's go back to the question. What does it mean to be accountable? The formal definition would be to commit to achieve a certain result and then deliver this commitment. Simple enough, but a lot easier said than done. Let's shed light on the magnitude of this commitment. Project managers are accountable not only for their own tasks, but also all the tasks that other parties must work on and complete. This includes the project team members, support functions, managers, vendors, and other stakeholders. Any work that is important for the progress of the project. To achieve successful completion of the project, the manager needs to have full control and visibility on all project-related work and take actions immediately when identifying something is not progressing on track. They will be on hand to help others overcome their barriers and keep them motivated, all on top of their personal daily duties. Wow. Who would be crazy or brave enough to take on such accountability? Your friendly neighborhood project manager, that's who. But they do have some weapons up their sleeve. Their skills, knowledge, and expertise. These will help them make the best decisions and direct the work in the right direction. But more about that in the next lesson.